So I raised, so my group container was actually around 1997, and it's now 5,000. So I raised it quite a bit. And then I also raised my one-on-one program from like around 6,000. I doubled it to 12,000.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a client spotlight series. Very special today that I have for you today. A training that we have created for you with my amazing client, Orly, who is here today to share with us what were those 3 adjustments that she made in order to have sold out, stress-free launches full of premium clients. So, Orly, welcome and welcome, everyone. I want to just have you introduce yourself just so that everybody knows who you are and what you do.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see your faces and some familiar ones. My name is Orly Vector, and I am the creator of the Health Pro to CEO method, where I help qualified health professionals get fully booked with self-pay clients.
So good. Okay, so I am here in Cabo and people are cleaning the pool, so you might hear some voices. um, but here's what I want to talk about. So you join Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. What I want to talk about is stress-free launches, because stress-free launches are very possible. I know we have some people here who have followed the magnetic launch formula, which is the method that I teach, but I really want to go deeper and look at what were your thoughts, what were the little shifts that you made in order to create this result. And so let's take everyone so that they understand where you were at in the beginning. Where were you at before you joined Magnetize and Monetize, so that they understand at what stage in your business were you at?
Yeah, so I have been doing this for a couple years now, and I already had a fully booked one-on-one coaching practice. I had just introduced a group program last year and launched it twice, but I really implemented, I know we're going to get to that, the magnetic launch formula. And this last launch that I had was by far my least stressful, biggest win, biggest income, all of the good things.
Okay. And so you were going from like having a one-on-one practice full, you have lots of clients there, to now scaling. And that's something that a lot of people want to know about, because it's kind of like that shift from, I believe one-on-one is my best offer. Now I want to scale. I want to have less clients on my calendar and have more spaciousness. And so tell us a little bit about when you joined Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, what were some of the breakthroughs that you had around shifting your thinking about the clients that you were attracting? What were the things that you upgraded in your message? What was different about the way you started speaking to clients, so that they came to you at a premium level?
Yeah, definitely. So I was feeling drained with the one-on-one and really wanted to scale using the group format. And the very first module in the Magnetize Mastermind is all about identifying your ideal client. And there's a really amazing exercise that helps you take a look at your favorite clients as well as your least favorite clients. And so I really dug into that, and it was eye-opening, super eye-opening for me to realize there was a clear difference between the people I most loved working with and the people who felt a little more draining. So I made some subtle but powerful shifts to my messaging, where I was really speaking to that elevated version and the person who's like ready to take action and isn't stuck in perfection, isn't stuck in learning mode, which is what I felt like I was really speaking to a lot previously.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember, in terms of the thoughts I was thinking about my clients, we had spoken in one of our calls about raising prices. And while I knew I wanted to, and I knew the thoughts that I needed to think to make that happen, it just like didn't fully believe it in my body. And so I reached out for support in the Facebook group, and you provided this amazing thought-provoking response with questions to journal on. And I really spent some time with that. then I became aware that I was thinking about some of my clients in a bit of a disempowering way. I felt like they were a victim of their circumstances, and also, getting in their wallets, as you would say, and like kind of analyzing too much about like where they're at with their current income in their current jobs. And so it was really eye-opening for me to see that and to shift it, of course.
Oh my God, so good. I love that so much. Okay, and so it sounds like the first shift that I want everyone to take away is something that I will never get tired of saying, which is, how are you thinking about your clients? What are the thoughts you have about them? And how can you find the disempower thoughts that you subconsciously, or you haven't really even decided to analyze or to just consider it? Consider it, is that a word? Considerate. So that you can really be clear as to how you're participating in the type of clients you're attracting. Because sometimes we think that clients just come to us and we have no, I don't know, it just comes from somewhere random. And remember, the two things that attract clients are the words you say to attract them and the energy that you're in. And the energy that you're in includes the thoughts you have about them. So if you think they can't afford me, they don't have the money, and you're all up in their wallets thinking, well, they're only making $2,000 a month or $0,000 a month, or they're a student, or whatever that is, you don't know what happens in this person's life, or how they may be getting money from a settlement that from 10 years ago, which just happened to a client who literally had somebody who had no money in their, like, on paper, but had a settlement from years ago that was just closing off, and all of a sudden she had all this money to invest in coaching. And so the biases that we have around clients is something that we really work on inside Magnetize and Monetize. And I really want to acknowledge you, Orly, because that's one of the first things that you did, and it's showing in your results. And so that's the first thing, the thoughts you have about your clients. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what happened as it related to the launch. And of course, the whole sound, I don't know if you guys can hear, but of course, all the sounds happen as I'm doing the interview. So let's talk a little bit about what happened to make your launches feel less stressful. So you implemented the magnetic launch formula. What is kind of in there that helped you not be stressed out?
Yeah, so the very first thing I did was just give myself more time. So in the past, I felt like my launches were really rushed and there was a ton of pressure. And so I just spread it out over 4 weeks. And I also used the pre-frame strategy, which you provide in the magnetic launch formula, which is something I had never done, to build excitement even before I started to promote my conversion event. So really like creating more space, and the mindset piece, which you go into as well, about like really holding the vision until the very end. Because in the past, when there's that mid-launch slump, that's totally normal and you normalize that. But when you're in it, it can feel so defeating and you're like just energetically done. But through the mindset work that I was able to do, I was able to just stay in it, hold the vision. And in the very last week, I got like, I filled it up right until the very last day. Actually, the very last day someone came in. So you got to keep hold the vision until the end. Don't give up even when you hit that mid-launch slump.
Oh my God, so good. I want to talk more about that, because that in itself is such a huge breakthrough for some people when they think, oh wait, this is normal. The mystery that I'm experiencing right now, the silence, the crickets, is actually part of the journey. And for everyone who's here, that's one of the things that I show you what the launch rhythm, it's like the normal like launch cycle, and what's normal, what's not normal, or how to revitalize the launch if it's actually really flat. Inside of Magnetize and Monetize, we do that. But there are some things that are really normal, and there are parts of the launch where you are going to feel this kind of like flat line, even if you only launch for 2 weeks or 7 days, whatever that is. I like to have 4 weeks of spaciousness. Like right now I'm in a launch, and you guys, I am chilling. I am over here on vacation. So just know that you get to decide how you want your launches to feel. And also know that if there are any flat lines that you would experience, that is actually normal. And what you want to make sure that you do is have have a plan for how you're going to work through those thoughts that you have about it, that something has gone wrong, that it's not actually going well. And that's why we invite you to join Magnetize and Monetize, because you will have times when you're like, maybe I should just stop right now, and it didn't work. I shouldn't send the emails. I should not show up on stories. And that is the time to double down even more, not from a place of rush and neediness, but from a place of certainty and relaxation, knowing this is how I got sold out. And this is something that I say so often inside Magnetize and Monetize, that this is how we got to the result, by experiencing whatever we're experiencing right now. And so I love that, Orly. And so what I'm hearing you say is that the mindset was really important. That was another one of the adjustments, and your pre-frame. So let's talk a little bit about the pre-framing. How was that different from anything else that you have done before? Because I imagine that you having had a one-on-one practice, you had some ideas about how to launch and how to do it, but how is the magnetic launch formula different than anything else that you have experienced before?
Yeah, so in the past, I had always just gone directly into hosting some sort of conversion event and promoting that. And so the pre-frame really, it's a subtle thing, but it helps you start to seed the idea in people's minds and build some anticipation, build some excitement, and then create content that's so relevant to what you just, the questions that you just asked people, so that by the time you've had so much time to talk about your event that and also the other thing that I had never done before is asking, versus instead of giving people the link to directly sign up for the event, it was like asking people to drop a comment below or drop your favorite emoji or do something like that, so that I could communicate with them in a more intimate way versus just like dropping the link.
Right. Yeah. Because when you drop the link, you're not playing the algorithm. The algorithm works when there's engagement. And so in the magnetic launch formula, we teach you how to increase engagement so that more people see your posts, and then therefore more people request directly that they want to attend your event or that they want to hear about your offer, instead of any of the strategies that people sell, which are like DMing people links without them asking or giving any consent. Like, that's not delicious, that's not magnetic, that's not desirable. And so that's we have a very strategic way to increase your engagement, so that there's consent and people actually raise their hand. Okay, and so tell us, what was your favorite part about launching now that you had implemented the magnetic launch formula? What were some of your favorite parts?
Well, just how spacious and ease filled it felt for me, because I made sure to take care of myself. I booked, like a pedicure, a massage, so that I was really taking care of myself throughout. And the other thing that I really found valuable was getting into the nitty gritty of how to actually run your conversion event, because in the past I had fallen into education mode and over teaching, instead of really like designing it in a strategic way to get people to convert. So I was much more bold about selling than I ever had been, which, the module was helpful with that, but also even just observing the way that you do it, it just gave me the confidence and like technique on how to use my conversion event strategically versus just like an information dump.
Yeah. And I just want everyone here on this live, watching the replay or even live here, to think about how much are you teaching when you get on a live stream, when you get even on content, when you write a post, or when you do a webinar, a conversion event, a 5-day challenge, 2-day challenge, whatever. How much are you teaching? Because I literally just had a call with somebody who's just over teaching on their sales calls. And they think, oh, I need to teach in order for them to feel confident in my ability to help them. And that is actually counterintuitive. It's counterintuitive for them, because they walk away feeling, oh, I think I have the solution, I'm going to go and try to do it on my own. And you and I know as a coach that clients are not paying for information. What they're paying us for is implementation, is support, is the holding of the space. And that is not something that they can do on their own. And so it's so important that you remember, like, we shift the thinking from, oh, I don't want to be like those marketing bros that just do webinars and don't teach anything and take it all the way to the opposite end of the spectrum and then just dump a bunch of information that is actually counterproductive, because nobody wins. You don't help the client, and they can't help themselves either. And so we really teach you how to be strategic, deliver a lot of value so that people are wowed, but also create that gap so that people really feel the desire to buy from you. So I love that, Orly. That's a great point. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your experience inside Magnetize and Monetize, and what was different about it? What else did you get from it? I mean, there were so many things. You're obviously now even ascending to Momentum Mastermind, which is where we support all of Magnetize students to go to 1 million. And so you're continuing your journey. It's got to be because you must have loved something about Magnetize. Obviously something good happened. So what happened other than just in the launches and everything? What was different about it? What did you love? What was your experience?
Yeah, such a great question. And it was an amazing, beautiful experience. It was actually my first time in a mastermind. I had only done one-on-one coaching in the past. And so I was a little nervous just because I had gotten that like full-on support, and I was worried that I wouldn't get that, but totally not the case. I mean, every call is just like supercharged coaching because you get to hear the way that Juliana coaches other people, and there's always value in that. Like, even if it's a scenario that you may not be currently dealing with, there's always something relevant. So I just left those calls feeling like on top of the world, but so supported too. Like, it just blew my mind that I was able to be supported at that level in a group format. So it also helped me believe in my group even more, seeing that like the possibility. And I think that's also what has helped me attract even better clients.
Mm-hmm. And be confident that you are a great group facilitator, because that's actually one of the hidden benefits of joining Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, that if you want to sell a group at a high level or even coach one-on-one at a high level, the experience of a premium container, being in a premium container, literally shows you how to be a premium coach. And so you feel so much more confident showing up to your client calls and holding space for them and challenging them in a loving way, because you've seen that modeled in somebody, in your coach. And you walk out not just knowing the marketing strategies, but also feeling so confident in your ability to take on any client's challenge and really feel confident in your ability to support them through it, and not kind of like, oh, having the thought of what if I can't, what if they don't get the result, what if I can't deliver? Like, all of that is just dissolved because you have experienced powerful coaching too. So I love that so much.
Yeah, no, it really helped me develop more self-trust as well, because I felt like in my previous coaching relationship, and nothing, like the coach was amazing, but I just felt like I was always leaning on her a little bit and like needed validation to make a decision to move forward. And so I feel like being in this container like empowered me in a different way, and I was able to just like trust myself and not need to always be asking for, is this the right thing, or should I do this? Like, make that decision by myself and have my back no matter what.
So good. Okay. And so tell us a little bit about anything that surprised you about being in the container that you weren't expecting, that you were like, wow, this is totally like I had no idea that this was going to be a bonus, or I had no idea this was going to happen. Because for some people who are going to be watching this, they're considering it. They're like, ooh, I'm curious. I want it. Is this the right time? And so give them an example of what does it feel like to be in there? What were some of the things that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, so it's just such a comprehensive program. I mean, you get Juliana's support, but beyond that, you have Parmise, who's like, word ninja, and I knew that copy coaching was part of the program, but I didn't realize how much of it. Like, she's in there Monday to Friday, and you can post content for review. So it's really like having a copywriter in your corner. So that was incredible. And then there was like support, Tavana, and we had the energetic call with Amanda. So there's just like so many fun surprises along the way that help you build your business in a more like holistic way and kind of come at things. It's like the mindset, it's the energy, it's the strategy, the copy, like all of it. It's really the most comprehensive program.
So good. So good. Would you agree that is the last marketing mastermind that you will ever need? Because I get clients telling me that all of the time. And I'm just like double checking. Is this actually true?
Yeah, thousand percent. I mean, I can't imagine what else you would need after going through this.
So good. Okay. Anything else that you want to share with everyone as it relates to any internal shifts that you made in order to create more of those premium clients? Any internal shifts that you made in order to have better sales calls, to hold space for people in sales calls, which is also an important part of launching, like feeling really confident in your ability to enroll people and do it from a place of love. And so I'm curious to hear if there's anything else that you want to share with them, any wisdom.
Definitely. So I think the inner child work that you do has been so powerful for me. It's not something I was really ever exposed to before. And it's just helped me be so much kinder to myself. I feel like in the past in my business, there were so many, like, I mean, it's normal to have ups and downs, but they felt a lot more dramatic and I was a lot harder on myself. And now I feel like just my mood over the past few months has been a lot more stable. I've been able to, yeah, just like normalize it all, be kind, know that I have the support of the community, but also just the way I talk to myself. I know you recommend like before sales calls, just like, it's fine. Like, I don't need this. It's good. It's all good. I love myself. And no matter what, I don't need this. And doing that has been wildly helpful for me.
So good. I know some people are hearing this and they're like, okay, I'll just tell myself, I love you no matter what before. But it does not work. It's not like a mantra. Like
No.
there's got to be some actual coaching underneath it so that it actually lands in your cells and in your body. And this is why having the support of a group container where you're being witnessed as I coach you accelerates the speed at which that lands in your body. So that it's not just a conscious thing, but is an embodied feeling that you genuinely feel like, oh my God, there's so much abundance around me that I know more clients are coming. I know that the next person's just around the corner. I know that they're right here. I know money's always here for me. And that it is a very different thing to know it consciously than actually feeling it. And that's what happens when you get inside a container. We speed up the timeline that it takes for you to really get that embodied like feeling, so that you're no longer feeling needy on your calls, you're no longer feeling all stressed out on your launches, you know how to problem solve, and you actually become an adult mature CEO, not like a 4-year-old trying to run a business, which is actually what we normally are. We're just little kids in big adult suits. And so really help you mature and hold space for yourself so that you know how to make decisions even in high stakes moments. And so that all attracts a premium clients. So thank you so much, Orly, for being here. And if anyone has any questions, I'm really curious, you can drop them in the chat. But I really want to encourage you that if you've been sitting on the fence on the Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind, I want to invite you to apply today because the spots are filling out fast, first of all. Second, if you're here, you've been watching me and you know you want to be here, why do you want to wait? The more you wait, the more you delay your results. And actually, Orly, let's talk about you joining because you delayed your, let's talk about this. This is a great topic. You delayed joining Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind for a while, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so tell us, why did you delay it and what do you wish you had done instead? I mean, maybe you're happy with your decision, I don't know, but tell us a little bit about your journey in deciding to join.
Yeah, I mean, so Juliana and I actually connected back in 2019. So it's been a long time. And like I said, I was working with a one-on-one coach. So I did have that support. And I think I was just really stuck in the mentality that like one-on-one is the best thing. There's no way, like there's nothing better than this. And so I kept, I followed Juliana and I kept like seeing all the information and her emails and her powerful presence. And I was drawn to it, but just nervous about going from one-on-one support to being in like more of a group container. But yes, I wish I had joined a little bit earlier, perhaps like a year ago. But yeah, but definitely don't wait as long as I did, because you will get like it's different than one-on-one, but I would say like even more powerful in my experience.
I love that so much. I wouldn't wait. I totally had the thought that one-on-one coaching was the best thing too. So I attract a lot of people that have those thoughts. It makes total sense. And I can tell you that being witness in like having, it's like one-on-one is you get one person's coaching, but with a group, you get 10x, 20x the coaching because you have all these people. So every single person that gets coached, you receive their coaching. So you get so much more value for you just get so much more value than if you were just like one-on-one with somebody. Okay, we have a question in the chat. Yoga asks, what did you raise your price to, and what was the process like?
Yeah. So I raised, so my group container was actually around 1997, and it's now 5,000. So I raised it quite a bit. And then I also raised my one-on-one program from like around 6,000. I doubled it to 12,000. So yeah, I mean, um, yeah, and it wasn't, I mean, like I definitely struggled with it. Like I said, I knew the thoughts that I needed to think in order to make that happen, but I just didn't fully believe them. I was still like thinking, oh, well, they're only making this much a month, and how could anyone ever afford that? And why would but but like Juliana coached me through that. She did a really powerful group training on that as well. And so, yeah, through journaling and just like consistently raising my belief, I was able to do that and have people pay in full too.
Yeah, so casual. You're like, no, just went from 1997 to 5,000. That's like more than double. That I wish I had asked this question in the beginning of the call so that all these people that are listening to the replay wouldn't have tuned out halfway, because I know that the people work that way. That's amazing. That's so amazing. And that's just like your normal life right now. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so this last, like I'm currently actually in a launch, and I've had like I think 4 people now sign up and pay in full, which was never a thing before. Like I never got pay in fulls.
Oh, so good. Oh, I love painful clients. Amazing. Okay, and Yoga asks 12K for how long? 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Any other questions that anyone has or anything that comes up for you as you hear this story? These questions are revealing some amazing details. That's amazing. This is great. What else haven't you told us, Orly?
I don't know. Yeah, there's just been like it truly feels like all the shifts have just been so subtle but like really powerful at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the power of like when you come into magnetize and monetize, we're not it's just like it's just a little 1 degree upgrades that are going to make a huge difference. It's not like a lot of heavy lifting. It's just we help you upgrade small things that just like make you fly. Another question that we have here, do you still do sales calls or do you launch webinars?
So for my group program, which I only offer 3 times a year, I do a conversion event, usually like 4 or 5 day event. And then from there, it's just an application and people sign up. I mean, occasionally I'll do a sales call if they're really on the fence about it, but I haven't been doing sales calls for that one. But for my one-on-one, I still do sales calls, yes.
Amazing. So you're selling a $5,000 offer without sales calls for the most part.
Yeah, usually most. Yeah, I mean, some people need it, but for the most.
Keep telling us. I didn't even know this. Amazing. Oh my God. Keep asking questions. This is getting good at the end. Look at this. I'm gonna have to edit this so that this last part gets put to the top. Any more questions? You guys are asking great questions. Are you mostly posting on social? Asks Ashley.
Yeah, so the platform that I tend to focus on the most is Facebook. That's just where I always have, and I have a Facebook group, and then I also do a lot of email marketing. So I mean, I do have Instagram, but I wouldn't say I put a lot of effort into it. That's probably next, but Facebook and my email list have been enough. Oh, and I have a podcast too.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And what do you coach on?
What do I coach on? I help qualified health professionals get fully booked. So it's comprehensive. It's a lot of like content strategy, selling with integrity, messaging. I mean, a lot of similar things that Juliana does. I just really focus on health professionals because I am a dietitian. That's my background.
Mhm. What Elle asks, what do you do as soon as you got into Magnetize and Monetize to maximize the program?
Great question. So I actually joined, or even though I delayed my decision, I actually, when I did decide, I joined the round early. So we started in, when did we start? February.
Yeah.
But I signed up, I believe it was like late November. So I had a few months to let the content sink in. But I went straight for, I mean, the launch module, just because I knew I had a launch coming up, as well as the ideal client piece. So yeah, I mean, you don't, and Juliana always says this, like, you don't need to learn all the things. Just you get to pick what you want to focus on and prioritize and go there. So yeah, for me, it was like the launch piece is what I went to first, knowing that I had a launch coming up.
Amazing. So good. All right. Well, that has been amazing. Thank you so much, Orly. This was so insightful and so helpful for everyone to know what are the shifts that they can make to their launches and be ready to apply. If you want to have stress-free launches, come to Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind. We will hook you up. We have all of the tools, the whole process, the mindset, the strategy, the whole thing. So you're in great hands. There's proof, Orly's proof, so many clients, go watch all their testimonials. There's just so much evidence that this is a program that you're not going to regret. It's going to be the best thing that you ever did. And so I love you all so much for being here. Thank you, Orly, for being here. And I will see you guys in the next training. All right. Have an amazing day. Bye.